Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Marketplace. My name is Darryl Kwao. Coming up this afternoon, Center for Plant Medicine Research commences testing of 32 herbal medicines for a possible COVID-19 cure. KPMG warns against misuse of government stimulus package. And oil marketing companies say they are virtually on their knees as COVID-19 ravishes the oil sector. More on that and others coming up in this half hour of business news. Do stay tuned. To the marketplace. In our first story this afternoon, senior partner at KPMG Ghana, Anthony Sapon, is advising businesses that are likely to benefit from government stimulus package to spend on critical projects that will help in reviving the operations. According to him, the fund must not be treated as free money to be put into unexplained expenditure projects. Mr. Sapon believes the fund has arrived at a better time in supporting businesses come out of the negative impact of coronavirus.
The additional interest cost that will come in if your demand is not going to rise. So again, if that is not going to be the case, then you don't go for a lot of facilities to incur extra. However, also in pandemic, it creates opportunities for some businesses. If you do have businesses that really can take advantage of the needs of today, then you can go ahead and expand and be able to make sure that. So the key thing is that whatever you do, work and plan within the limit of your cash flow, work and plan within your strategy, work and plan within protecting your people and your business today, so that in the next few months ahead, you can stay afloat.
600 million cedis facility for businesses and industries. Way to go. How should the money be spent?
Thank you very much. This is one of the major interventions that the government has announced to support micro, small and medium enterprises. And it is important to know that it's an emergency fund. That means that the government has seen that businesses are suffering. Their cash flows may be hit. They would have lost demand. And therefore, government says, I'm putting a lifeline to your business to have access to some level of credit so that your business can continue. So it is a mindset that business owners should know that this is a business to bring you to life and not a free money. Not free money in the sense that money that you should just spend anyhow, but it should be money that you should spend on boosting your business, on critical areas, covering your employee costs, covering production costs, covering some equipment costs that can allow you to continue to operate. That way, with time, once your operation sustains, you'll be able to bring your business back to life, be able to pay back government, and sustain your business. And I think if you have that mindset, that is where this fund that the government has put in is really going to have a major impact on the economy. Thank you.
While we try to get businesses in shape, we need to find a cure for coronavirus. Well, the Ministry of Health has submitted 32 herbal medicines for testing to find a possible cure for COVID-19 at the Center for Plant Medicine Research. Deputy Director for the Center, Dr. Alfred Ampuma Apia, says over 60 individuals have also sent their samples. Currently, testing is going on at various stages, but the Ministry of Health is yet to make any financial inputs. Ghana spends less than 0.4% of its resources on research, and the WHO adds Nigeria has the highest investment in herbal research.
The U.S. stocks, which had been plummeting, actually received some revival on the 13th when some level of information on a possible vaccine was announced. So the industrial stocks and the medical stocks actually went up on the Dow Jones, and as much as 8% rise in those stocks. Fast track them, these issues to Ghana. One of the things that has been spoken about is the fact that our preparedness when it comes to medicine has been missing. And less than 0.5% of our resources are actually put into research. And here at the Center for Plant Medicine, virtually no amount of money has been coming here from the central government. I have come here to find answers as to what herbal drugs are being used, or the sort of research that has been going on when it comes to herbal drugs and possible solutions for COVID-19. So how do these rats come into the COVID-19 conversation?
Yes, let me start from this point. I think we are all aware of the fact that as we speak now, we don't have a medicine that kills the coronavirus, right? So what is being done globally is that we are doing what we call repurposing. Through WHO and other scientific organizations, certain drugs that are already in the system have been selected, which are known to have certain properties, antiviral properties, and which have prospects of being helpful. And those drugs are being used, and they are monitoring its effectiveness. One of the drugs that have popped up is hydrochloroquine. I'm sure you might have. A few other drugs, yes, have been done. And similarly, if you take herbs, there are known herbs that have antiviral properties. And there are herbs that treat diseases like chickenpox, measles, shingles. And these are viral diseases. And there are herbs that treat these conditions. The implication is that these herbs have antiviral properties. And there are herbs that are being worked on scientifically with known antiviral properties, right? So what we are doing is to look at
the range.
Yes, a few of these, pick a few of them, and then retest. Look at what they can do so far as antiviral property is concerned. And
so are you introducing, for example, the COVID into these mice and then using these drugs? Exactly how then does it connect?
What we are interested in is a herb that have a potential to do something so far as COVID-19 is concerned. But we are not experimenting with that virus. With the coronavirus, this novel coronavirus, you need a specialized lab to do that kind of work. Currently, WHO will not allow us to do that one. But you can experiment with other viruses in collaboration with our collaborators to confirm the antiviral property of a particular herb or of a particular product. And that, in addition to information on the herb in literature, we can indicate that it is possible that this particular herb or product can be of use in this disease condition.
How many drugs have been brought by the Ministry of Health to you?
We received a total of 33 products from the Ministry of Health, and we understand it came to them through GAFTA. Ghana Federation of Traditional Healers. So they brought a total of 33. But as at now, other individuals have also brought some, and we have way above the 33 that the Ministry of Health brought.
The Center for Plant Medicine says that, well, they stopped counting the number of people that throng into their center every single day, claiming to have some level of drugs to help cure the that's COVID-19, and they stopped the count at 60. And just as you have seen in my shot, these gentlemen from Koforidua have also come in with some solutions. But the need for scientific centers to be resourced in order to work with the speed that is needed for an emergency, this does not exist right here. And these are some of the critical things that we will need to get solutions for pandemics like this.
And while we search for a cure, the oil market is seeing its worst days. The Association of Oil Marketing Companies says it has lost about 80% of business since the announcement of the first COVID-19 case in Ghana. As prices continue to slide downwards, it is expected that cost of pumps at the pumps will be reduced. But the Executive Secretary of the Association, Aboagye-Wiafe, says fuel prices will not go down now. He explained to Odilia and Tiamwa volumes are also computed in arriving at the price, and currently the conditions are bad.
Figures in relation to crude in the U.S. slumped as low as minus $37 per barrel. That means that they actually were looking for space to be able to even store crude in the United States. What does that mean for us as a major importer of crude? Is it time to, like many people are toying with the idea, this is the time to import and store, or is it really an opportunity to take a look at our whole oil import and export mix and see how we can take advantage of situations like that? I've come to the Oil Marketing Companies Association to find out exactly how they are coping in these times. I'll be speaking with Mr. Jamandia. 2020, prices have totally slammed and even gone to its negatives for WTI. Exactly how is this affecting your operations as an OMC association?
Yeah, let's take it from this way. You know, remember the price band basically is a futures market.
Yes.
When you have excess of, it's all COVID-19, which is creating that people don't have demand for crude oil, because some factories, some refineries are down. So it's creating that low demand. So people have a stockpile of crude oil. Say that it was always sense with the futures market. It's now the seller is paying the buyer to come and pick the products. You know. So like you said earlier on, the opportunity should be there so that people can buy crude oil and stockpile in the refineries. Here we have the Mari refinery, and we are in a state where we have COVID-19, when you don't even have money to do anything because the productive capacities are all low. So, you know, it's opportunity when everything is working well. Now, where we find ourselves now, it becomes very difficult to even look for the money to go and, as it were, import those crude oil and come and refine. So it's pretty difficult because now we don't know when this COVID-19 is going to go out. So you need to really be cutting your costs and making sure that you have enough resources to be able to maintain through. Otherwise, you have to step out and declare people redundant and that kind of thing. So it's an opportunity, but something we cannot grab immediately.
Okay. For 3 weeks, we had gone home and left the fuel stations virtually empty for 3 weeks because students aren't going to school, workers, everybody was locked down right here in Accra and in Kumasi, where these two centers are your largest markets. Tell us how this affected business.
You know, it started when the president announced that there's no gatherings, events, and those stuff. We started going down from 40% of our volumes and went as low as 80% below. As it stands now, that's what happened. So now it's just picking up gradually, and we are in a very bad situation. So we cannot even pay our taxes well. But the taxes were supposed to be paid 21 plus 4 days after you picked it from the depot. Now we are not able to do that because a lot of the fuel we purchase are under the underground tank. 6 volume. I presume a lot of people just release their cars. Some people bought the fuel for about 5 weeks. The cars were not moving around. So it has really affected us negatively. Plus the fact that, you know, our overheads were still the same and maintained their workers at the various stations. And like you rightly said, Greater Accra and the Ashanti region are biggest places where we have a lot of stations.
Interesting times definitely ahead. We're taking a short break on the marketplace. When we come back, we'll talk about the latest GDP numbers. Stay close. Welcome back to the marketplace. This afternoon, we are getting provisional figures from the Ghana Statistical Service. That is GDP estimates for the fourth quarter of 2019. We are getting indication that it stood at 7.9%. Joining me from the Joy Business newsroom is Eben Sabote. We are going to zoom into that conversation, Eben. So tell us a bit more about these figures that were released. Is it an improvement? Which sectors grew, really? Eben, can you hear me? I doubt Eben can hear me. We'll try and re-establish contact with him to discuss the latest GDP figures. But let's move on to other stories. President of Ghana National Chamber of Commerce, that is Anape Danko, so has been speaking about donation the chamber has made to vulnerable groups and the underprivileged. Charles Aite has more in this report.
Presenting assorted items to the Aboagye-Wiafe Children's Welfare Home in collaboration with the Executive Chairman of Kanafama Limited, President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry says even though corporate Ghana is doing very well in donating to the COVID-19 Trust Fund, much must be done to protect the vulnerable in society in order to reduce the strain on government coffers.
All of us as corporate Ghana to support other groups and individuals, especially the orphanages, not only countryside orphanage, but all other orphanages. In fact, it has not been easy for the management to handle some of these homes. But I think that at this time, most individuals have done very well. Most corporate bodies have also done very well, and I want to use this opportunity to extend our profound gratitude to all of them. We have come here this afternoon to also stock their store with rice and bread and other things. You know, this is about 5,000 Ghana cedis. It's not much, but at least just to see how best they can have enough food in store.
The items worth over 10,000 cedis included bags of rice, gallons of alcohol-based hand sanitizers, some medicines from Kinafama, among other groceries. On his part, Kinafama donated an amount of 5,000 cedis to the home for the renewal of the National Health Insurance Scheme of all children and caretakers of the home. Nsiampoko is executive chairman of Kinafama Limited.
I think the first time we came was at the request of Nanada Nkawuso. He's a close friend of ours, and he had told us he would be visiting, as it's been his custom for a long while. So we joined in a couple of years ago, and we have since been coming to help every time he comes by, a couple of times a year at least. And 2 years ago, the administrator told us about a situation they have where they had presumed previously that the children being orphans did not have to pay for registration for the National Health Insurance, but had been told that they had to pay. So we promised to foot the bill every time it was up for new renewal.
The Countryside Children's Welfare Home is a privately owned orphanage home located in Aboagye-Wiafe in the central region with over 120 children. The home has accommodation, school and sporting activities for the children.
You are watching The Marketplace. Let's move on to another story. We want to bring you from the Ashanti region, where some indigenous finance institutions say the 3-week lockdown took a toll on their operations, as the informal sector was, which forms the core of their targets, was hardly hit. Head of Deposit and Marketing of Sinapiaba, Eric Ofoebano, says it will take time for financial institutions to recover from the impact. Sinapiaba, for instance, has had to employ social media and special caller tunes to keep its clientele base. Prince Opia has more in this report.
Some industry players have projected that financial institutions, especially those that have more clientele in the informal sector, will take some time to pick up. This is because many in the informal sector would have to start all over again to gather capital for their businesses. Head of Deposit and Marketing at Sinapiaba, Eric Ofoebano, says the focus should be on support for clients to recover.
Well, to say that this has been impactful in terms of negatively impactful on our customers will be an understatement. It has been impactful on each and everybody. I mean, for those of us even in the formal sector, it's not been very pleasant. So for most of our customers who happen to be in the informal sector, it tells negatively on the social flow or even our business flow as well. But then we are holding it out. We are working with our customers. Thankfully, we are in a position to still support our clients. But having said that, by and large, I think that we are all hopeful that in the very near future, things will resume its normalcy.
Mr. Ofoebano spoke when Sinapiaba presented medical supplies and sanitary items worth 200,000 Ghana cedis to 3 health institutions. Beneficiaries are Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research, Sontreso Government Hospital, both in Ashanti region, as well as Mamprobi Polyclinic in Accra.
We've also ensured that we give them daily calls, trying to ensure through social media, through radio, through our caller tunes to advise clients to stay safe. We believe that even if this should be over, we will still come back to these clients. So we are mindful that there's a tomorrow. It is one of the reasons why we've been going around donating to hospitals and to institutions such as KCCR, because in the long run, they go to benefit our clients as well.
And that's The Marketplace. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwa. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business.